So, dear Master of Sciences classes of 2020 and dear MBA class of 2019, welcome to Bocconi University. It is a distinct pleasure to have you here for the next couple of years for a beautiful experience on our campus and possibly for a transformational experience in order to make you citizens of the world and executives and managers that will transform our society in a better society. I will try to be extremely brief because we have the honor today of having Mr. Schultz and his team here with us. Let me also mention CEO Kevin Johnson and my friend Martin Brook that we met several times along this year. And it's a real privilege because we couldn't have a better start. Let me echo the words of Professor Caru because he quintessentially represents an entrepreneur that, with a strong vision, has created a multinational, which is something extremely relevant in our economy today. So I think we have to take the opportunity also to have some Q&A sessions, so I'll try to be extremely brief. As Dean Caru mentioned, I will try to touch upon three things very briefly. Our history, there are some historical facts that are also consistent probably with the history of Mr. Schultz, and so it's interesting to see this analogy. The second thing is our organization, because I would really like you that in the next couple of years you will take advantage of the entire university and not simply the graduate school. And last but not the least, I will try to touch upon the values of Bocconi, because I think this is something extremely important to consider and to, starting from today, also make part of your agenda and of your feelings. So let me start with the history, because Bocconi University was born in a very different way than most of the university. And I'm speaking to Mr. Schultz. Mr. Schultz, Bocconi is unique because most of the universities, as you know, in Europe are public, are state-owned, and we were a private university. And interestingly enough, we have been founded by an entrepreneur. Even more interestingly, this entrepreneur was a retail entrepreneur, was the guy that introduced department stores in Italy back in the 1800s. The name of the department store was Magazzini Bocconi. You can still see this building because the Magazzini Bocconi has been renamed after some years in Magazzini La Rinascente. And so we have this beautiful department store under a different ownership today at the center of Dome Square. And the reason why he created this university, because he had an unfortunate event. In fact, his son died in a battle in North Africa at the end of the 1800s. And he wanted to name something in the city of Milan that could deliver value for the society. And the thing that made him very innovative since the beginning is that he was an entrepreneur. At the time, as you can imagine, there was not a certification for becoming an administrator or an entrepreneur. Most of the business schools were born, in fact, after the 1900s. Those that come to my mind are probably the first ones. Harvard Business School was born in 1908. Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth probably is the first one in the world, was 1900. And he thought to do something similar, and he said, you know, there is engineers, medical doctors, and lawyers that are the only professions certified, but there is one profession, which is the one I do, which is not certified, and requires a lot of learning experience. And so he ended up with this gentleman that was working in the City Hall of Milan and was expert of economics in building a curriculum, a bachelor curriculum in economics and business. And starting in 1902, so more than 115 years from now, we have been the first ones in Europe and probably even all over the world, because in the system, the Anglo-Saxon system, you used to have the systems of major and minor, so you didn't have really an economics and business bachelor degree at the time, to create something that you know, has become something not only precious for people that work in business and work in research institutes and work in institutions that have to deal with the economy, but also for many other people that have to interact in a society that, after the Industrial Revolution, has become a society more and more embedded and intertwined with economics. Now, what is our fortune, I would say, is that for more than 115 years, we have been doing the same thing. We have expanded slightly in fields that were strongly related with economics and business. Today, Bocconi does data science, does political science, does legal studies, but all these fields are very much consistent and complementary with economics and business. And so this made us in some way special and recognized not only in Europe, but with many partnerships around the world, and that's the reason why Bocconi, in a sense, is a valuable university today, which is not small because that's our characteristic, as you may know already from our statistics, because Bocconi has the opportunity of being specialized in these fields of social sciences, but it's also big in terms of size. We have more than 14,000 students, and every single year, we deliver courses for more than 10,000 executives that are either, courses that are delivered within the firms, within the companies, or courses that are delivered on our campus. And so overall, we count more than 24,000 people that interact, with Bocconi every single year. And this is something very special, if you wish, because in terms of size, this means that it's a very peculiar business school and school of economics. And by the way, I like to mention that more than 4,000 students on average on our campus are non-Italian, so we're super international, given the statistics of most universities around the world. We're doing very fine in the last few years in terms of rankings that certify our position. We have the ambition of being across all the rankings by 2020, number 5 in Europe and number 20 in the world. Some rankings that are very important already mentioned that list us as number 4 and number 11, but independently on that, our fundamental goal is to make the experience of our students something unique for their lifetime. As I say, it's transformational experience in terms of opportunities and in terms of learning, because the society that you will face will be more complex than the society that the generation before you have faced. And it is crucial for you to help and support the creation of a better world. Now, Bocconi is not only the graduate school. We are, in this day, emphasizing and celebrating with this welcome address the grad students. We have 4 additional schools. And I'm mentioning the other schools because, as I said before, I would like you to really take the opportunity to enjoy the entire campus. As you can see, we have 2 professional schools that are SDA Bocconi School of Management that speaks to executives. We have a law school that speaks to people that are interested in legal studies. And in addition to the grad school, we have an undergrad school, which is the biggest in terms of size because every single year we intake 7,500 students on average. So this is the numbers. Grad students are 4,000, and School of Law students are 1,000, and PhD, of course, is a small portion because PhD is about research. And speaking about research and continuing on our characteristics in terms of organization, I would like to mention the fact that the strength of Bocconi is a combination of an impressive faculty, which is made of 2 types of people. What I call the scientists, people that are in tenure track or have already obtained their tenure, and that are those that develop models, develop theories, and are crucial professors not only to have our university, let's say, enlightening the different fields in terms of development of new knowledge, but because these are the professors that will open your mind and will help you understand, all the characteristics of the problems you have to face. But at the same time, our faculty is also composed by more than 500 adjunct instructors that are professionals, that are extremely good in practice, that are people that are consultants, are managers themselves, are people that technically are extremely good in delivering the practice. And the synthesis between these 2 poles is what made the experience of our Master of Science programs something unique. And you have to take advantage of it in the next 2 years, because this is something that will make your curriculum stronger because you will understand problems better. In terms of opportunities, there will be many, because Bocconi is not only made by 1,000 professors, but is made also by more than 600 staff that are headed by my partner in crime, Bruno Pavesi, who is sitting in the first row today. And all these people tries to extend and expand the opportunities that you will face in the next 2 years. For example, the fact that you want to spend a quarter in a different university around the world. We have more than 270 partner schools with the most important names that you can think of, and you can stay there for some time. As a matter of fact, we import the students of these schools in our campus. We have more than 600 employers that every single year come on campus to do events and to try to also provide you with opportunities in terms of stages and in terms of course, job market when you will be finished with your Master of Science. And we count, in general, 2,500 last year employers that have signed contracts with our students. And more importantly, we have a network of more than 100 alumni. The fact that we've been created in 1902 means that we have a broad range and a broad cohort of alumni all around the world. So we have more than 50 chapters around the world. And my job, in addition to orchestrating the different fields, the different deans and the different schools at Bocconi, is also to go around with some of my deans in the world to stimulate the conversation with the different chapters and with the different people. And so that's also the reason why our community is so vibrant, making many events in different cities all around the world. So this is our history, this is our organization. Let me conclude very briefly with our values. Well, Bocconi was founded in Milan, and Milan has always been a super international city. It's not a case that we have Starbucks here today that will do something very special next Friday. And so internationalization, openness to culture, diversity is something which is at the basis of our DNA, something which you will breathe every single day in your classes, and you will breathe, of course, also in your networking activity in the afternoons and in the evenings. Something which will, again, try to make you people that are strong, because, again, modern manager not only has to be a technical manager, but has to have plenty of values in order to, again, make our society better. And let me conclude with one note, since we have the opportunity of having our Schulz today, and to speak briefly about another value, which is, in a sense, a value which, since the beginning, is part of Bocconi, the value of the entrepreneurial mindset and of the innovation. I come from a generation that, in a sense, was taught that entrepreneurship cannot be taught, but the only thing that you can teach is management, because management is about science, is about rational decision, is about rational behavior. Instead, entrepreneurship is some kind of creative act. Joseph Schumpeter used to call it a creative destruction act, which is very hard to, in a sense, model and theorize and teach to students. Well, at Bocconi, we believe that entrepreneurship, first of all, is becoming more and more important. We are living the fourth industrial revolution, and the digital revolution is reconfiguring most of the industries and is making, most of the new startups the companies of the future. So it is crucial that in the next couple of years, you will also take advantage of learning entrepreneurship in the many things that we have done and organized recently at Bocconi. So there is plenty of courses of coding, for example. There are plenty of courses, a beautiful track which is across courses on behavioral skills that will tell you how to communicate, how to lead teams, how to try to manage a complex situation. And all these things are clearly something that will become more important for your future. And with this said, I think that we couldn't start better, as Professor Caru said before, with the talk of one of the most brilliant entrepreneurs of our time, our Schulz, which will enlighten you on his experience, his life, and the things that he did across these 30 years. So thank you very much, and good luck and welcome to the campus.